It is now 5 o'clock. I will call the meeting of the WISD Board of Trustees to order. Please let the record show that this meeting has been duly called and notice of the meeting has been duly posted for time and manner required by law. This evening, we have 6 trustees in physical attendance and 1 trustee attending via telephone. Due to a confirmed case of COVID-19 within trustee Melissa Starnader's family, Mrs. Starnader must quarantine within her home as a matter of public necessity. Due to this public necessity, Mrs. Starnader is attending tonight's meeting via telephone pursuant to Section 551.125B of the Government Code and the Governor's order expressly allowing such participation during the current COVID-19 pandemic. At this time, we will go into closed session according to Section 551.001 et sec. It is now 5 p.m. 5:44, we will reconvene back into open session. At this time, Mr. McCutcheon will lead us in our invocation, followed by Mr. Schofield, Mr. Kriegel with our pledges.
Lord, we thank you for this day and the blessings that you bestowed upon all of us. Please be with us tonight as we make decisions that affect the district. We also ask that you be with the family of Jeremy Morgan, former WHS alumni and coach and teacher, and his family he lost his life this week, and just comfort them over the upcoming weeks. We ask all these things in your son's name. Amen.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Okay, I don't believe we have anyone signed up to speak in open forum tonight, so we will move to our next item, would be oath of office for our new board members. Ms. Stevenson, and that would be Mr. Schofield and Mr. McCutcheon. Correct.
Would you guys step down front, but maintain your social distance, please? Okay. Thank you. And if you would, raise your right hand and then repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of School Board Trustee for the Waxahachie Independent School District of the state of Texas, and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of this state, so help me God. Congratulations.
Hard-won victory, Judge.
Okay, next item on our agenda, we're required after each election of new board members are sworn in to reorganize the board. We have three positions of officers that we need to decide on tonight. So at this time, I'm going to open nominations for president.
I'd like to nominate Dusty Autry to continue as our president.
Second.
No seconds required.
Good.
Okay. Any other nominations? No one? Okay. At this time, I will entertain nominations for vice president.
I'll nominate Clay Schofield as our vice president.
Any other nominations? Okay. And for secretary, nominations for secretary.
I'll nominate Judd McCutcheon as our secretary.
Any other nominations? Okay, seeing that we only had one nomination per position, shall we by general consent accept Dusty Autry as board president, Clay Schofield as vice president, and Judge McCutcheon as secretary? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Aye. Was that an aye, Melissa?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I couldn't hear you. Okay. All right, motion carries 7-0. Thank you guys very much. Okay, now we're moving on to our human resources report. James?
Good evening, Board. I would like to ask that you approve the one teacher as discussed in the personnel report presented by the superintendent in closed session.
Any questions, comments, discussion for Mrs. James? Okay, all in favor, say aye. All opposed, say nay. Oh, I'm sorry, we have some motion, did I? Sorry. Did you, I'm sorry, did you make the motion? I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself, I'm sorry. Okay, okay. There we go, thank you. Is there a second? A motion by Mr. Schofield, second by Mrs. Kriegel. Is there any other discussion? That's what got me, because I wanted to say something during the discussion part. So, there's a couple of individuals that are retiring at the end of the year, and what happens if we don't accept their retirement tonight?
Sir, that's information only.
I understand that. I didn't mention the names.
But we can't, they're retiring.
Okay, I got you. Okay, that way I can at least tell him we tried.
Okay.
Okay, all in,
They just have to notify the state that they're retiring.
Yes, sir.
yes, there will. Mr. Robinson, there's a way we can hold Michael Craig. I didn't say the name.
Well, the reason we have the notice is under DEC. This way the employees are able to obtain that benefit that y'all approved several years ago. So they can get some of their days reimbursed. But like Ms. James said, there's no lawful way to keep good employees, even the ones we love, against their will.
No, sir.
That old saying, everybody's replaceable, I'm not so sure
Yeah,
about
I
this.
mean,
We never tried it. See? You say that, but I don't know it's been tried.
I think we tried, there was someone we wanted to hold on to a few years ago, at least in jest and good fun. I don't think anyone's tried it with full zeal, so I don't think it'd be successful.
all right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carries 7-0. Okay.
Thank you.
I know we're not supposed to do recognitions by 6, but I believe she's here, correct? Okay, all right, Ms. Bridges.
Good evening, board. We're excited to recognize we have just one employee of the month this evening. Our second was not able to be here, so we will recognize that person in January. But I'd like to invite Simpson Elementary Principal Darla Wilson up to do this recognition. Good evening, board. It is with great excitement that I share with you our Simpson Strong staff member for this month. This staff member is one of those teachers on campus that sees a need and quickly steps in to help in any way possible. She has been instrumental in many new beginnings at Simpson. One example is she has led the implementation process of our house system. Even though she knew it would be quite a challenge with COVID restrictions, she has persisted because she knows it will be great for kids. That is what drives all that she does, what is best for kids. She is one that works quietly behind the scenes and wants no recognition for her efforts. She is truly living out her calling, teaching kids and making a difference. I'm honored to recognize our Simpson Strong staff member for the month, Kyra Burns. Thank you, board.
Okay, next item on with our National Board Teacher Certification Report.
Okay, am I putting this up here or is it going to hop up there?
This is Mott's, all yours.
I don't want to hit the wrong thing and mess it all up. I saw it up there once. Let me see. I think it's down here. Maybe not. Okay. I saw I had it up there once. All right, well, can you bring up the PowerPoint or is he back there? Okay. I saw it up there once. Okay, there we go. All right, good evening, board. I am here this evening to talk to you about National Board Certified Teachers. I presented at the DEIC meeting in November, and then last week at the principals meeting, they got a scaled down version. National Board Certification is a part of the teacher incentive allotment, which came about through House Bill 3. National Board Certified is, as it sounds, it is a national certification. There are not very many teachers in Texas that are nationally certified, however. And so the state recognizes the incredible impact that a national certification can have on teaching staff and therefore on students. So it has decided to attach a little bit of an incentive for teachers in the state of Texas to become National Board Certified teachers. So what does that look like if they are nationally certified? So I can go to the next one. Here's just a real quick overview. It's a voluntary advanced certification, and all educators pre-K through 12 are eligible to work on this certification. It provides an opportunity to hone their practice, demonstrate their professional knowledge, and reinforce their dedication to their students and their career. There are 4 component areas that they'll be working in. One is their content knowledge, differentiation of instruction, teaching practice and learning environment, and lastly, effective and reflective practitioner. So there are tests involved in this. They have to go and have a proctored test. There's also a lot of videotaping of themselves doing instruction, and they get feedback not only from people at the National Board Certification Center, but also teachers across the United States. It is rather intense. It is fabulous on the professional development side. And that's why we are so excited here in Waxahachie for our teachers to jump on board with this. We believe that our teachers are going to benefit professionally, they're going to grow, and so therefore our students will benefit with increased academic success. So who's eligible to participate in this program? Of course, they need a bachelor's degree. They need 3 years of successful teaching in the classroom, hold that valid state teaching license, and that teaching students is part of their job description. So pretty much if you think about anyone who is on a teacher's pay scale, a librarian, yes, we can make sure that that works. They are teaching students all the time. A counselor is definitely teaching, and you'll see on the next slide, I believe that they have a specific certification area for counselors. They are teaching guidance lessons. I did have one question come back from the DEIC about, well, what about a diagnostician? Well, if we think about a diagnostician, they are not on a teacher's pay scale, and they are not teaching students, they are evaluating for testing purposes. So a diagnostician would not qualify for National Board Certification. The great thing, as I said, there's money attached to this. All of the cost associated with applying for National Board Certification is reimbursable through the teacher incentive allotment. So why would a teacher choose to go with National Board Certification? It's very inclusive of all the professional staff, and we'll see here in a minute all the different certifications that they can go after. Great professional development and growth for our teachers. Targeted funding right to that teacher who is earning the certification. This is a quick implementation as compared to the other part of teacher incentive allotment, which was teacher designation program, which takes years for us to develop as a district. We can have teachers starting on this in June, and you can finish it as fast as 1 year. Most will take a little bit longer than that, but you can go through it as quickly as 1 year. It's pretty intense, so definitely would take 1 year. And this program has minimal administrative costs for us here in the district. Here are the different certification areas that teachers can look at. You can see it's very inclusive. You have music teachers, our PE teachers, counseling is on there. You can just do a general list. If you see the abbreviations out to the right there, since this is a national program, their language is a little bit different than how we see things in the state of Texas. We say pre-K-5 or middle school or junior high, high school. They categorize things a little bit different. The key there at the bottom will tell you which age group. So it really breaks it up a little bit. Our special education teachers can go after that exceptional needs specialist. So it's very inclusive. I think everybody fits in there, even career and tech. They have a certification for them. So how much money can a teacher make through this program? Well, here are the numbers currently for this year. And remember, this is going to run a year behind because it's based upon the low socioeconomic status of each campus. So the more low economic kids that you have on your campus, the higher the dollar amount that you can make. So it was fun to go through the map on the website and look at all the different districts across the state, different campuses, and where you can teach at to make the most extra money through this. All the way from Clift Elementary at 5173. Of course, Shackelford is quite a bit lower than that at 3299. Our secondary campuses, Waxahachie High School, a little over $4,000. That's a one-time stipend paid after the teacher receives the national certification, and it is good for 5 years. So every year for 5 years, they get that one-time payout. Okay? It's not quite as good as this. This is the 100% value. There are some administrative costs. The state, the incentive allotment program says that we have to give at least 90% to that teacher. I'm negotiating with Mr. Calden about how high we can get that number up to, since our administrative costs are very small. I'm hoping to get that number even higher to get more to that teacher who earned the certification. Did you hear that, Mr. Calden? We're in negotiations. Okay, all right. So I'm still working on him. So they'll get that one time a year paid out separate from their paycheck, of course. A couple questions that I have had coming in. What happens if a teacher earns that certification here in Waxahachie in this district and they move to another district? It goes with them. So that receiving district, let's say they go to Venus. That receiving district then gets the money from the state to pay that allotment every year. If we get a teacher from Midlothian that has earned their national certification, whatever campus they come to here, that's the allotment they get for that year, and it will come from us through the state. So it's transferable. If they start at Shackelford and get the certification and they move to Clift, then their number changes that next year based upon Clift's number. It's wherever you are for that school year is the dollar amount that you receive. Okay, and it's good for 5 years, and then you get to renew, and it's not as intensive when you renew at the 5-year point. So it's a fabulous way for our teachers to make. It's pretty exciting, the amount that they can make. And I'm really excited about what it will bring to our classrooms, the improvement in instruction, and it's helping them instruct even better, and our students being even more successful. There are a couple websites that you can check out for more information. They're listed right there. I will be sending this information out to the district as a whole, hopefully before the holiday break here, just to kind of whet their appetite, get them thinking about some additional incentive for getting the certification. I'll send it out again in March to remind them, and hopefully we can get some people started in the June cohort that will take place through Region 10. They will be helping support our teachers through this very intensive but awesome and rewarding program. Any questions that I can answer? Yes, Ms. Creel.
Will our numbers be adjusted because the numbers last year, our socio numbers are not
Yes.
the same?
Yes.
So we should be receiving a lot more money. Correct?
They will be adjusted by the state, yes. On that first website listed up there, there's a great map, and it shows every district and what they're making right now, and those are the numbers that are reflected in this presentation. And that will update a year from now, of course, to show what it will be for the next year.
Okay. And let me, to be sure, this was funded by the House Bill
3.
3.
Mm-hmm.
So if House Bill 3 goes away,
Oh, I don't know about that one. Let's hope not.
you know, well, hopefully it won't,
Right.
but you know, we know that the legislature's meeting.
Because they were accused of that right after House Bill 3 passed, Morath was asked that at a Region 10 meeting, and he said the legislature said they were committed to at least 10 years of this, regardless of funding. Now, I don't know if that makes you feel better or not, but
I am hearing that, and I am seeing that the legislature seems to be committed to fulfilling their promises, hopefully.
Any other questions? Yes, thank you.
Nothing else, Mr. Mott? Chairman?
I have a couple.
Okay.
I looked up that website today, and there's a lot of information on there, so I hope teachers will go look at it.
Yes, ma'am.
How long will they have to be in that first, like they had a recognized, the exemplary, and a master's? How long would they have to do the recognized before they can move up and even make more money?
Okay, that's a good question, Ms. Timmerman. For the National Board Certified, they're all at the recognized level. Okay, there's 2 different pathways you can go with teacher incentive allotment. You have National Board Certification, or the district can develop a teacher designation system. And when you develop that system, then they can go on the 3 different levels. So that system involves the T-test appraisal of the administrator, and we have to set our values of how high, what kind of scores they need to get for each level. And also, we have to develop a growth tool to measure our students, which we have that here in our district. We could use MAP or we could use STAR EOC scores. Those are the two required components that the district would have to decide what's this level, what's this level, what's this level. I'm seeing some plans come out now, and I'm beginning to wrap my brain around what that would look like here. Some districts are choosing to add other things into that, like they have to complete so many leadership activities for the recognized level, so many at each level, in addition to the evaluations and in addition to the growth of their students. A lot of districts are starting small with that. And let's say we target our writing and our English 1 and 2 scores. And we would say, any teachers who are doing 4th grade writing and you meet this criteria, this is how high we can get. It's a great way to get your very best teachers in those grade levels and those tested areas that we're struggling in. So that's something that Dr. Averitt and I are still talking about and looking as plans come out. It takes a lot of time to develop that. We will have to go through extensive training as evaluators to get all calibrated so that if I am evaluating a teacher at Shackelford, they get the same evaluation they would get at Marvin. And so you can imagine how difficult that is and how much calibration that takes. So it would be extensive for the administrators who are doing the evaluations. We as a district have to get a focus group together and decide what the criteria is, what growth measures are we going to use, what additional things would we want them to do. It's a multi-year setup before you implement. So we're still looking at that. I really want to get data back from the next accountability cycle so that we can look at that data and say, what do we need to target? And then let's consider using a program like the teacher designation system to target those areas. But with National Board Certified, it's only that recognized level.
So that's where those cohorts came into play, the...
Yes, from the state, yes. We are like cohort D if we were going to participate.
I figured we would be.
And now everything has been pushed back at least 6 months with those cohorts because of COVID. Everything's been pushed back. We are still in cohort D as we as a cabinet leadership team are talking about what our options would be and what it would look like if we went that other route as well with teacher designation system. So it's possible a teacher could be National Board Certified and have that designation as well if we would choose to get that program up and running. It's a lot of administrative cost, I will tell you. It's a lot, but we're not ruling it out by any means.
Well, the whole thing looked a lot when you look at the whole plan and everything you have to do. And,
yes, it's intense.
So I hope everybody goes to that website. There's a lot of great information on there about it.
Any other questions?
All right,
Thank you,
Thank you very
Board.
much, Lamont. Okay, next item on our agenda is our annual financial audit report. Mr. Calden, I believe.
Evening,
you and
Board.
Mr. Evans are going to be taking this. Collier?
Evening, Board. Tonight we have Kirk Evans with Evans & Associates here to present our fiscal year ending 8/31/2020 audit report. And with that, we'll turn it over.
Good evening, everyone. Good to be with you tonight. You are getting the copy of the report. We'll just go over some high numbers this evening and then see if you guys have any questions that we can answer for you. Page 1 of the report is our audit opinion letter. This states that we've audited the financial statements of Waxahachie ISD as of August 31st, 2020, and that management is responsible for the presentation of the statements, and our responsibility as the auditor is to give you an opinion on the statements. And again, this year, our opinion is that these statements and the financials are presented fairly in all material respects, and that means that it is a clean, unmodified audit opinion this year, again. Let's pop over to page 16. We're going to look at some numbers in your general fund. The report, of course, is quite lengthy and presents all of your funds, but for purposes of this discussion, we'll just focus on the general fund this evening on page 16. This statement outlines all your revenue and expenditures for the year. So as you can see in the first column, you ended the year as of August 31 with total revenues of just over $96.5 million. And you can see the three categories there of local, state, and federal. And that breaks down to your local revenue stream, property taxes, et cetera, represented about 52% of that total. And your state revenue was 46%. And then the remainder, you had a little bit of federal money in the general fund, but the majority of your federal money, as you know, shows up in the specific funds that they are reported in, but you had just a little bit in the general fund this year. On down the page, you see the presentation of all of the expenditure categories presented by function, which is required by TEA. And you can see all those various categories, and they total there about the middle of the page of the $97.6 million. Oh, I failed to mention the revenue, the $96.5 million is up about $9 million over last year. So a nice sizable increase on the revenue side. And then your total expenditures this year, as of August 31st, the $97.6 million. And so that's operationally how the total came out. And then the next section down, we make some slight adjustments to your operational income. And then we arrive at that third line from the bottom, the net change in fund balance, the $741,699. Now that is in brackets, it is a negative number. So your general fund balance decreased this year by the $741,000. Nothing to be concerned about. That's in the scope of your dollars. That's not a number to be concerned with. So, and as you know, fund balances can fluctuate from year to year based on activity. So adding that, or should I say subtracting that from your fund balance from the previous year, you ended the year with a total fund balance in the general fund of the $27.8 million. Now, of that fund balance, you have some of those dollars are earmarked for projects, and they are designated for certain and various things. So as of the end of the year, you had $26.6 million of undesignated fund balance. And so that means that's money that can be spent at board's discretion out of the general fund. And that represents approximately 27% of your expenditure budget. I don't have the exact number for your current year budget, but from a calculation of the year ending 2020, it represented about 27%. So your undesignated, your spendable amount that you can designate is about 27%. And as you know, TEA requires and expects about 25%. That number, which represents what you can and how your ability to meet your next obligations within usually about the next 3 months. So you are in excess of that minimum, and so I think that was about 27% last year as well. So you are maintaining that. A couple of other items to look at. Back up towards the middle of the page, and we will look at just at one debt service number. That's the second column. In the middle of the page there, you see principal payments and interest payments, just to bring that to your attention. You retired $7.5 million of bond principal this year on your payments, and you paid $9.8 million of interest on those bonds. That does not include, that's just your regular amortization. That does not include the $18 million of refunding bonds that you issued during the year. And that was a refunding issue, so that entire $18 million went to pay off old issues. 2010, 2012, somewhere in there. I don't remember the exact issues that it covered, but that entire $18 million was used to retire some of the old bonds. They were called, I would expect that they were higher interest rate bonds, and that's the reason you did that. So, but in addition to that, you also paid $7.5 million on bond principal, which is your regular payment schedule this year. We also conducted a single audit on your federal programs. That is required, as you know, because you expend more than $750,000 in federal programs. And so this year, we audited your IDEA program, the special ed program IDEA. And that was done for the federal programs this year, and happy to report everything that we audited, that we looked at, is in order. There are no findings or anything to report to you. So that federal program, again, was in good shape and in compliance. Your total for your federal money you expended this year was just over $5 million. That schedule is also in the back of the report. You can look through there and you can see in detail exactly where your federal money was received and where it was spent. The debt schedule, failed to mention, is also in the report. It's back in the middle of the notes. It gives you all the detail on all your bonds, what was retired, what the ending balances are, and a lot more detail on that, should you choose to go back and look at that. It's good reading. We also issued a management letter that outlines anything we need to bring to the board's attention this year. Happy to report there are no such items. The audit went very smoothly again this year. As you know, this is our second year with you. And Ryan and his staff and Wendy are very responsive to what we need, and we enjoy working with them, and they do a very good job. And so I just wanted to let you know that they are very responsive, especially when we're sitting here in the conference room and demanding a lot of things out of them. They're always very willing to get us what we need. So we do appreciate that. So overall, a good report to bring to the district. Things are in order. Your fund balance is maintaining, and that's a good thing. And so with that, we'd be happy to answer any questions if you have them. I know it's a lot of information to throw at you right now, but be happy to answer anything.
Any questions? Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Okay, board, next item on our agenda is our consent agenda. We have items A through I. We can take them all in one motion, or if there's one that you would like to remove for discussion, however you would like to proceed. A motion to approve the consent agenda, items A through I. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Timmerman. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed say nay.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Now I need a motion to adjourn. Mr. Rogers, second by Ms. Kriegel. All in favor say aye. Opposed say nay. Motion carries 7-0. Just a little bit of a delay there.
That was a yay.